It was a beautiful sunny Thursday afternoon in the Coachella Valley Desert of Indian Wells, California. March 12th, 2001 to be exact. Every tennis fan was looking forward to an epic semi-final battle between the Williams sisters at the Indian Wells Masters. Venus and Serena, both seeded 2nd and 7th respectively, were already the talk of the tennis world, with both of them together already holding a staggering 11 Grand Slam singles and doubles titles under their resume in their young career. Having already played each other 5 times at that point in favour of Venus, ticket holders and viewers across the world were anticipating another grand encounter between not only two sisters, but two of America's rising tennis sensations. However, just 5 minutes before the two sisters were scheduled to contest each other on centre court in front of a packed Indian Wells crowd, Venus pulled out of the competition, signing tendinitis, immediately giving younger sister Serena an automatic ticket to the finals against Belgium's Kim Clijsters. Much to the fans' disappointment of this sudden withdrawal, many thought this was poor sportsmanship on not only Venus's part, but also that of Serena's and their father, Richard Williams. After her loss earlier to Venus in the quarterfinals, Russia's Elena Dementieva said in her press conference that she believed it was Richard Williams who pre-decided which of the sisters should win in the match if they were to face each other, and that it was a quote-unquote family decision. This sentiment was not only shared by Dementieva herself, but by many skeptics around the world. Many saw this as Venus's perfect opportunity to allow little sister Serena to shine and rise up in the rankings. Both Venus and Serena were quick to dismiss these allegations, simply calling it rumors. Saturday, March 17th. The day of the Indian Wells women's final between Serena Williams and Kim Clijsters. As Venus and Richard Williams made their way to their seats, they were met with loud boos and jeers from much of the estimated 15,900 audience members in centre court.
And there's Father Richard coming down. An American crowd booing an American family. And you have to say that it does smack of a little bit of racism.
The crowd continuously booed the Williams family throughout the whole match and were cheering for Belgium's Kim Clijsters. Serena famously refers to this day as the fiery darts of Indian Wells. During the match, Serena herself heard racist taunts and the N-word hurled towards her. She said of the incident, "I looked up and all I could see was a sea of rich people, mostly older, mostly white, standing and booing lustily, like some kind of genteel lynch mob. Like these people were going to come down and look for me after the match." During changeovers, she hid her tears under her towel in order to not allow the crowd to know that they had affected her. During one pivotal changeover, she said a prayer out loud. "Jehovah, give me the strength to get up from this chair. Give me the strength to finish this match. Give me the strength to persevere." And with that inner strength, Serena was not only able to fight against Kim Clijsters, but also against the crowd, clinching the 2001 Indian Wells trophy in 3 grueling sets. This strength could be also attributed to Richard's unconventional but tough training methods. Richard, who lifted his fist towards the crowd in defiance, admitted he prepared his daughters for a day like this to occur in what he called a white-dominated sport. During their early years, he paid bystanders to intentionally shout out racial slurs at young Venus and Serena during their training sessions on the cracked-ridden Compton courts to toughen them up. Despite being tough enough to victor against the hostile crowd, Serena at the end of the day was still a teenager and a human being. She could no longer hold in her emotions and wept as soon as she got to the locker rooms. Serena's favourite tournament as a teenager was Indian Wells, as it held a special place in her heart because she had won her first ever professionals match playing doubles with Venus at just 15 years old. However, that all changed in a heartbeat when the 2001 Indian Wells tournament came to a close. Reflecting on the whole incident, Serena said, "The undercurrent of racism was painful, confusing and unfair. In a game I loved with all of my heart, at one of my most cherished tournaments, I suddenly felt unwelcome, alone, and afraid." From then on, Serena and Venus decided to boycott the Indian Wells tournament every year, willing to pay the fine every year to skip the premier mandatory event. March 2015, Serena, now 33 years old, no longer a teenager, had decided to end her boycott and return to compete at the Desert Rally Indian Wells tournament 14 years later. News broke of this and tennis fans were up in arms with a welcome back match against Romania's Monica Niculescu during a record attendance of 19,198 spectators. As she walked onto centre court, she was welcomed with a huge roar of applause. Serena couldn't hold back her tears of happiness and gratitude. As to why she chose to return, the reason was inspired by the former late South African president and philanthropist Nelson Mandela. When Serena and fellow tennis great Novak Djokovic bumped into each other at the practice courts of UCLA a couple of days before the 2015 Indian Wells Masters was due to start, she had a deep chat with the Serbian, sharing with him the reason for her return. Djokovic said, "He allowed himself forgiveness. That is something, an incredible virtue of a big man." She used that as her inspiration to come back here. A year later, Big Sister Venus decided to also end her boycott, returning to the desert tournament after a 15-year absence. Venus said that her younger sister's strength of forgiveness inspired her to also return. She was also welcomed back with a roaring applause, where she placed her hand on her heart and waved to the warm crowd. Both sisters admitted that this experience helped them bring them closer to each other.